So what is your portfolio like these days? Like in terms of like percentage crypto, percentage, and you know what? I know your style. Like we're not looking for anything exotic, right? Unless you want to disclose. But a boring portfolio can be a fantastic portfolio. But I'm curious, how do you think about allocation
Well,
across different crypto, non-crypto asset classes, and then just things generally?
so people shouldn't emulate me because I've got a lot of experience with risk taking and I'm comfortable with the risk that I'm taking. I don't use leverage. You know, I use external custody, multi-sig, all of the things, so, and I'm very focused on my thesis, which is, you're dead right. It's the network thesis. So I then look at charts of assets relative to each other. So I was looking at the Bitcoin ETH chart, which I follow closely, which has been underperforming, and I think it's basing, as we talked about. But the chart to me that was a standout in 2022 was the Sol ETH chart. And that was the chart that got me buying Solana and then going all in. Much like I went into ETH all in about September 2020, right? I just did it earlier in Solana. And so I am 80% Sol. All of my ETH is now NFTs. I've been buying high-end art NFTs. I then have a bunch of the portfolio in the fund of hedge funds in Exponential Age Asset Management. And I have 1% in stupid shit like Whiff and Doge and Bonk. Got all of those, but that's 1%. So even when I post about it on Twitter, I'm sure some joker in 2026 is saying, you were recommending Whiff. Just to be clear, I've got like in all of meme coins and everything else, 1% of my portfolio. I'm 90%, 80% Solana.
Raoul, what if like part of our target audience, I think, is the up and coming investor who might be on their second cycle, like maybe even their first cycle. And I think a lot of people are entering crypto for that once in a lifetime opportunity, right? And they're focused on how can I become financially independent? Besides kind of the don't F it up strategy, which is a good kind of like, general advice, or maybe that's the ticket. How do you think they should invest? Like, how do you think they should approach investing in general in terms of where they should allocate their time, resources, all of these things?
I think the important thing is the DTFU strategy, number one. Second, educate yourself. Educate yourself from the right people. So get your sources of information from the right people and actually do some education. There are available courses, that are free or paid that are valuable. Like, in fact, coming up next week, we've got the Festival of Learning and Real Vision. There's tons of people coming to that and it's free. And we're there to teach you how to trade in meme coins, how to trade in NFTs. And we've got a bunch of people who really know this stuff. There's a whole thing on Solana. There's a whole bunch of other stuff, all about learning. So go to realvision.com/festival, I think it is. And it's free. Go and do that. Educate yourself, because then eventually, let's say it's cycle 2, you too can take the ETH bet of the last cycle or the Solana bet of this cycle or whatever it is. I'm still not good enough to do the next bit, which is like, who's going to be the next one of this? I can do that. Who's going to be the number 3? That's easier. But you can't do that without educating yourself, studying the space, understanding the players, listening to the narratives, finding out where the opportunities are. So that's the key thing. DTFU, just keep it simple, stupid, but learn. And next time around, you'll really make money.
If you enjoyed all of that, then you'll absolutely love the Bankless newsletter. Join over 300,000 fellow readers, all for free. Click below to sign up.